You know that feeling, right? You get this gorgeous bouquet of flowers, you're so excited, and then, just a few days later, it's a sad, wilted mess. It's so disappointing. But what if I told you there's a science-backed secret to stop that from happening? Well, today we're going to break down exactly why flowers die so fast and reveal the one simple trick to keep them looking fresh and vibrant for way longer. Yup, we have all been there. It's such a sad sight, that telltale droop of a beautiful flower that was perfectly fine like yesterday. It happens so fast, it feels like some kind of magic trick in reverse. But the answer isn't magic at all. It's pure biology. So, what's really going on here? Why do these gorgeous flowers just give up so quickly? It's not just that they're getting old. No, there's actually an invisible culprit at work. Something happening deep, deep inside the stem. All right, to really get this, we've got to look at the science of what's happening. And what it comes down to, believe it or not, is a microscopic traffic jam. It's happening right there at the base of the stem, and it's causing all the problems. Okay, so the fancy scientific term for this is vascular occlusion. But all that really means is that the flower's internal plumbing gets blocked up. You know, the little tubes that are supposed to carry water up the stem, they get clogged. The best way to think about it is like trying to drink a really thick milkshake through a clogged straw. The water is right there in the vase, but the flower just can't get to it. And check this out. This is the visual proof. On the left, you've got a healthy stem. See how those pathways are wide open? Perfect for sucking up water. But then look at the right. This is a stem after just a few days sitting in regular vase water. Those same tubes are almost completely choked off by bacteria. That right there, that's the real enemy we're fighting. Okay, so if bacteria is the bad guy, the big question is, how do we fight it? This is where things get interesting because people have tried all sorts of home remedies, and it's led to this huge online debate about what actually, works. All right, first things first, let's bust a really common myth, aspirin. You might have heard you should crush up an aspirin and put it in the vase. Well, a 2012 study looked into this, and guess what? It doesn't help. In fact, it actually makes things worse. It causes the flowers to wilt even faster. So yeah, definitely skip the aspirin. So that brings us to the two main contenders in this fight, bleach versus hydrogen peroxide. You see these two pop up online all the time. I mean, both are known for killing bacteria, right? Florists have been using a little bit of bleach for ages, but now a lot of people swear by hydrogen peroxide. So what's the deal? Which one is actually better at keeping those flowers alive? Well, lucky for us, we don't have to guess. A recent study from 2024 finally put these two to the test, head-to-head, to settle this debate once and for all. So what the scientists did was pretty straightforward. They ran a classic controlled experiment. They took a bunch of freshly cut roses and put them in different solutions, some in just plain water, some with a bit of bleach, and others with hydrogen peroxide. And then they just watched and measured to see what happened. And the results were, well, they were pretty striking. Take a look at this chart. The flowers in just plain water, that's our control group, they lasted about 8 days. The bleach, a common low-dose amount, barely did any better. But look, one of these treatments just blows the others away. 12 days. That's the magic number. The roses that were in a specific hydrogen peroxide solution lasted, on average, a full 12 days. That is a 50% increase over just plain water. I mean, it wasn't even close. Hydrogen peroxide was the clear, undisputed champion. Okay, so that science is super cool, right? But the big question is, how do we actually use this at home? Let's take what we've learned and build the ultimate practical flower care guide. Okay, so the lab study used a very specific concentration of hydrogen peroxide that's not easy to get at home. But don't worry, we can get fantastic results using the same scientific principles. Here's a super effective DIY recipe. You start with about a quart of lukewarm water. Then add 1 teaspoon of sugar, that's the food for the flower. Next, 1 teaspoon of bleach, that's our powerhouse bacteria killer. And finally, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. This lowers the pH of the water, which helps the stems drink it all up more easily. It's the perfect combo. So to wrap this all up, let's run through the ultimate checklist for making those flowers last. First, always give the stems a fresh cut at a 45-degree angle. Use a sparkling clean vase, no leftover bacteria. This next one is crucial. Strip off any leaves that would end up below the water line because they'll just rot and create more bacteria. Then, of course, add your DIY flower food mixture. And don't just set it and forget it. Change that water and add new food every 2 to 3 days. And last, just keep the bouquet somewhere cool and out of direct sunlight. Seriously, follow these steps and you will be amazed at the difference. So there you have it. By understanding a little bit of science, just knowing that bacteria are the enemy, we can totally change the game for our fresh flowers. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other secrets, what other little bits of kitchen science are just hiding there in plain sight, waiting for us to discover them?